Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, dear.
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? The good and the bad, the exhausting and the empowering, the wins and losses, every part of leadership has a bigger impact when we are doing it for a greater purpose. With this quote by Leda Elman, I, Riya Dugar, student of PGDM second year, would initiate the third panel discussion. The millennium generation is the social media savvy generation. They understand the importance of balanced life, personal growth, and productivity. Thus, keeping the millennium worker engaged, one must understand the basic thinking of this generation. To understand this, we Jaipuria School of Business, in collaboration with Core HRIR, bring you a panel discussion on the sub-theme, the 3S approach to engaging millennials, speed, satisfaction, and shine. In this endeavor, we are very fortunate to have amongst us corporate leaders. They will put forth their unique perspective and enrich us all with their vast experiences today. We are proud to have Sankalp Shakund as our panelist. An enthusiastic and charismatic leader over his long and illustrious career has proved his expertise in major aspects of human resource. He is currently associated with TDSG Lithium Ion Batteries Private Limited as a head HR. He's a postgraduate in personal management from Xavier Institute of Social Service, Ranchi. The focus of his role is culture creation, change management, alignment and customization of practices of stakeholders, effective strategy and execution of human resource and administrative functions. He has previously worked with corporate giants like Maruti Suzuki, Jensen and Nicholson Limited, Lonza, and Indian Oil Corporation. He is recognized for contribution to community, CEOs, performance, and leadership excellence, and had been nominated 100 Top Minds in HR by World HRD Congress and Time Accent. We firmly believe that he will bring invaluable insights from his experience. We are deeply honored to welcome you here, sir. Our next panelist is Sanjeev Bhatia. He is the CEO of Nobility Ventures. He was formerly associated with Indorma Ventures Bangkok as a global HR head. He has previously worked at Tata Steel and Reliance Energy Limited. He is internationally certified practitioner on Lumina Spark for leadership assessment and is certified by Coach for Life USA. We fondly anticipate a plethora of his exceptionally invaluable insights in today's discussion. It is our privilege to have you here, sir. Moving forward, our next panelist is Reena Kumaria. She has more than 2 decades of experience. She is the Chief Administrative Officer of Indian Air Force. She has been awarded with commendation for dedication and devotion to the service. She is a qualified counselor and psychotherapist and was a national level badminton player. We are delighted to have you here and look forward to gaining value from your rich experiences, ma'am. Our next panelist is Sangeeta Mehrotra. She's a blend of experience in corporate as well as equally passionate about serving the NGOs. She has extensive leadership experience and she is an alumni of Tata Institute of Social Sciences. Presently, she serves as a head HR at RB Cutters Private Limited. She has industry expertise in pharmaceutical, retail, FMCG, retail estate, and luxury goods. She is the VP of Council for International Fellowship and serves as a secretary in the NGO named Family Welfare Agency. Also, she's a member of CSCL alumni community. We are glad to have you on board, ma'am. So Sangeeta ma'am will be moderating the session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ria. Thank you very much for introducing the panelists, and you've done it so well. So great luck and ahead for you for a great future. Best wishes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
you
much.
all give us energy in terms of, we kickstarting this session ahead, right? So good afternoon and welcome everybody for this session. And as rightly, sorry, I will just put my phone inside. So that the word speed itself has emanates a lot of energy. So in the afternoon, hopefully we have a energy driven session. where, probably Samvad is dialogue. So we would be having a dialogue with the rich experience of the esteemed panelists and the participants in terms of what they have to ask or would like to know. So that connect would itself bring great insights and probably be of use in terms of the virtual conclave which has been platformed at this time. To start with, I would like to give a brief, perspective on this 3S, where you also have 3S into the panelists. Sangeeta, Sankalp, and Sanjeev are also there as, so that should hopefully, do some wonders to this 1 hour, right? Which creates some enduring insights. Giving a few perspective on this word, these 3S, to start with speed. Speed would operate in a time zone of 24 hours a day, and a day which makes a day, and a day makes 365 days a year. So anything would be in the context of time is what I would see. And when this time zone comes, I would put a classic example of a marathon, where in a marathon, when you start a marathon, it's like, on an average, you would be getting 1 kilometer in 10 minutes, 12 minutes, and then you would be aspiring to moving on to 2 minutes, etc. But indeed, at any given point of time, never you would be on a zero time zone. You would be completing that 1 kilometer in XYZ seconds, minutes, or whatever. So the speed, what in the post-pandemic era, and in this context, what comes, and what is very dear to me, and over the years when I've been doing is, as a core, one has to realize and come to terms to this time zone and create a space for self. And this process of aligning and realigning self and creating a comfortable time zone speed, which is enduring, which is sustainable, which, can be nurtured in the ecosystem and would definitely translate down to satisfaction, is something, each one would be unique. Each one would be very, distinct in their approach in terms of, moving to this, setting down their paces. And I'm not talking of each one, I'm talking of each one as an individual professional, but each organization. And each individual, each organization, and each organization setting an ecosystem. So this ecosystem will be more collaborative, would be more, in the post-pandemic area, where I, kind of touch base is, one has to sync with the sustainable development goals. One has to sync and nurture along with nature. So this would be more enduring. That gives me, I touch more base with this aspect. The speed has to get in this context, has to align, realign, and keep evolving. There is no fixed or set pattern to it. It has to keep evolving, in the time zone. So this brings in satisfaction, and the satisfaction comes in with a statement of purpose, with a value proposition, which makes a collaborative, enduring ecosystem. The millennials, I hope, have connected with the kind of, resources on information, the resources they have. They are very prudent in terms of making these kind of choices. And when they are making these choices, is how you touch base in terms of realizing as to where, what, how, in what way, and how would you connect to the ecosystem, which is going to be of a larger benefit, of a larger cause, which can reach out to many more, is something which the pandemic has, made us realize. And honestly speaking, I have seen amazing energy among the youth, among the millennials. And what I see, and I'm very hopeful, and I connect a lot over the years, is the value proposition which the new generation brings in. They connect, they see there is a purpose. It's something which is extremely inspiring to me. So that is satisfaction, and speed and satisfaction together bring a natural luster and shine. So, it's a natural gesture of, I would say, achievement, growth, collaboration, coexistence, which goes together. And that which goes together is bound to bring beauty, is bound to bring happiness. And that's what I've been doing, and I've been seeing, and I've been learning. There is nothing great about it. So I thought I would set the ball rolling by giving my perspective. And I always feel very passionate to connect with the youngsters, because there's tremendous learning and tremendous
I think we have got some network issues with Sangeeta ji. So moving it further with the introductory remark. Okay, yes, she's there.
And you can't hear me?
So it was a few seconds we lost you actually.
Okay, great. Fine. So may I invite upon Mr. Sanjeev Bhatia to enlighten us upon this 3S by the 4th S. Yeah.
Thank you, Sangeeta ji, Dr. Vartika, even Ria, and my co-panelists and the students. Welcome to the session. It's a privilege, definitely. Like you have set the ball rolling, and I love the word in the reference to Ria when she talked about the social revolution. Yes, she's dot on. And also I loved what Sangeeta ji said about the time zones. And of course, in reference to the speed and the satisfaction and shine. So, but I was been just reflecting when this topic was given to me. And I was just analyzing what has happened in my time in the business world rather. And what I found that in the time zones, if you look at kal, aaj or kal, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And I look at it when I categorize this into a different era. There had been the Industrial Revolution, and we all know about it. That was the kind of a generation which is still in the workforce, like the people took job for survival. Then it was about what we used to say at those days, roti kapla or makan. So people never used to, leave the job. They had one job, whatever the boss had been, whatever the environment had it been, karo or yamaro. I mean, a boss was always right because the opportunities were not there. And that kind of grandparents are also there in the workforce. Of course, they are now getting retired, but they are. The next era, to me, my understanding is came the information revolution, when they said the knowledge is power. I've used to listen, and I'm using all these cliches which we've gone through. The IT companies, the brands started coming in, the workforce of this era. I think me and others, some of the panelists have been into coming in this era, where the survival was not that much of an issue, but standard of living came into. And we started, picking up the things like a house, a small house with the EMI, buying a car with the EMI, even the education loan for kids EMI, and all this era we have gone through. And all of us, barring few exceptions who've been born with the silver spoon, otherwise, I think all of us, we have taken the EMIs in our life. Now, this generation, so-called the loyalty which never existed, reduced in the sense like they got more options for the work and the higher pay, and hence the jumping started. I never found my father been jumping from one company to other company, but I jumped through. So I know my next generation is going to jump more because the options. So this era actually for me came down in 2008, if I'm right, because after that, the so-called the knowledge is power. Knowledge became available to anyone and everyone. Even the coding today, you can go to the YouTube and learn coding. Everything was been made available. So not there's nothing called the hidden knowledge. And the third era, which has been now, I know many others will come, is the what Ria said is about social revolution or digital revolution. Now, this revolution actually is the today's young force. When this is called for the millennials who are not bothered about survival. They're not bothered standard of living. Even a labor, if you go, I'm not demeaning, but if you go to their house or maybe even jhopparpatti, you'll find the dish antenna. Tata Sky or something. Everything is there. I mean, forget about standard of living. They are not bothered. If you shout and everything, bola salams up, he has got a job. Now, the millennials actually, they need something more beyond that, is quality of life, and that is a shifting from standard of life. So what that means, and it's my analogy, I mean, it's my understanding, they're talking about the quality of job. They're looking at the quality of environment, the quality of role. They're looking at the opportunities, learning, even the rewards they're looking at. What kind of reward incentive am I getting? And all that, unless until you focus, combining all this in terms of speed, their satisfaction, and let them shine what they are. And that has to be just not the word, but the integrated process in your own organization. And then you will definitely, otherwise you'll not be in a position to address the issue of engaging and retention of millennials. They are very, very volatile in the sense of the energy is much faster and they're ready to unleash their energy. I'll just sum it up in a very simple example. And this is about Google. We all know about Google. And in 2005, they came up with a kind of just to attract all this time. At that time, the youngsters, the graduate young passing out from the colleges, about the perks, the government food for the breakfast, lunch, and dinner, the concierge services, the space for napping even. I mean, in our time, we never thought I'll get a space for napping in the office. But believe me, in Reliance, I got it made even. Because one girl said, sir, you all have a cabin. We stay and we sit in an open space. And my bosses even shouts at me, I don't have a place to cry. Can you see it? And that was really a jolt for me. And I made sure that there has to have a place to cry. In that process, we got it a kind of most comfortable chair one can think of, with the music sets and the lights, ambience and everything. A very small cabin for 2 chairs to go and sleep, but you have to book it for not more than half an hour. So, I mean, that was the need. Now, there was a purpose when Google did that, because they wanted employees to come together, to spend more time, hours, innovate, debate, and create. Now, the same Google, May 2021, this year, announced that 20% of the employees are going to work from home. 20% will work remotely, tied to a series of Google locations spread all over the place. The remaining 60% will work at some place other than the office for 2 days in a week, and 4 weeks in a year, any part of the world they can work from. Now, same Google has changed. If the Google can change, why not we? I leave it rest to my panelists to elaborate. Thank you.
Ma'am, you need to unmute yourself. No. Shanti ji, एक बार देखिए.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah. जी ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Sanjeev. You've really made us travel through the time zone, and you made us realize how sensitive one needs to be to the current context and to the needs of the youngsters in terms of engaging them and seeing that how productive they are to the economy and to the larger global setup. Thanks, Mr. Sanjeev. Yes, I would invite upon Ms. Reena, Wing Commander. She comes from a setup which is government, and it's not the civilian concept, and where she has been handling the people process for so long and so nicely, and we would like to have your perspective. Ms. Reena.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And good evening to all the faculty members, my co-panelists, and all dear students present here listening to us. First of all, as ma'am, you just told us about how millennials think collaboration, and we need to understand to coexist with them. And Mr. Sanjeev brought out different eras. So even in defense forces today, though I do not aim to touch upon how we function in defense forces, but yes, definitely we are part of the same society. People who join defense forces are extension of the same society wherein this generation is growing up. So definitely it has an impact. The way we function, the way we are now changing our perspective to adjust to their needs and not losing our aim and goal. So as generally as our students would be aware that who millennials are, people born from 1980 to 2000, up to 2000. And this is one generation which is unique and definitely very special because we have brought them in that way. We boomers and Xers, though they call boomers, the other day I shared it with my son. One is doing BTech as all these students, he's that old, and one is a little younger. I said, beta, I have to share my viewpoints on how to handle. I just shared with him because he stays with me here, and he said, yes, Mama, you are a boomer. Boomers are who don't know anything. I was amazed. One, it is like boomers is a kind of one abusive world in their generation where person who doesn't know anything is a boomer. And I said, no, beta, I'm not boomer, I'm Gen Xer. So I rather try to take some lead or take an edge over what he just mentioned. Notwithstanding, as I told, this generation is very unique and special because they have created this uniqueness. They are emotionally, maybe that is again a mutable discussion, but their digital quotient is very high. We all know Mark Zuckerberg, who created Facebook. This is most utilized digital platform. Our Ritesh Agrawal, who started Oyo Hotels, Nitin Saluja, who started Chayos. They all are millennials. The way they think and the way they utilize their knowledge on this media platform and became success within a very short span talks volume about how these people think and their knowledge and their knowledge which is derived from speed, and why not? Everything is available right in their hands, in their mobiles, through that Google Baba, which they can opt and learn. So for this generation, life is zip, zap, zoom. You understand? Whatever they want to know, they want to buy something, just add CVV and you will get the product. Sense of achievement, patak se in your hand. You want to meet people, WhatsApp, there are dating apps, and you have a girlfriend and a boyfriend right across on your mobile. And this is how their life is all about. So they want the same kind of speed in their profession as well. They want to grow fast. They want to do things and accomplish fast. While the speed and shine, they go hand in hand. But then satisfaction becomes an issue because few things need some time. When we as parents were growing them, we showered them with all love and affection, made them motivated people, and they are so smart and multitasked people. But somewhere we could not deliver, we could not teach them skills to struggle to achieve, struggle to success, and stamina to work hard and have patience So these elements somewhere are affecting their satisfaction levels because they want to shine with a speed, but they are not getting the kind of satisfaction they look out for few reasons, which we may discuss as we progress with this discussion. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Reema, for your inputs in terms of how this generation is and how we need to touch base with this very distinct and significant characteristics of this generation and connect to them and take them into the flow in terms of work life. So that was a great insight from you. Mr. Sankalp, you would give us some inputs in terms of the 3S from the 4th S and with the millennials.
Yes, so thank you so
Sankalp.
much for inviting me here. It's so exciting to be at a time when I also need to think whether all the millennials are awake and how to keep them awake. Right? And not just the millennial, but the millennial inside me, because I've worked in many organizations, which is maybe government and which is private, which is Indian, and which is MNC. Today, I am in a company which is like a startup. So it is manufacturing the first lithium-ion cell for India. One thing that I have noted, which is common, is that any organization, right, will have to work towards its objective. And in the course of that, going towards its objective, it will need all kinds of diversity in terms of people, in terms of thoughts, in terms of views, in terms of even decisions. So I always tell that, diversity is what makes you really succeed, because that makes you give different viewpoints. Why I am saying this is because it looks like we have mentioned and we have become used to calling a certain age as a millennial. Like those born between this time to this time are millennials, and those to that time is a boomer, and things like that. And may be truly correct, because mostly they may conform to that kind of behavior. But if you look at certain things, like what does it really mean? What comes to your heart when you say the word millennial? So I noted down a few points. So it's about being young. I think it's about exploring, your options. It's about provoking thoughts among others. It's about breaking all silos. Like recently in my company, many young people come and say, I have worked in production enough. Now I want to work in HR. Right? So, or I have worked in quality department enough. Now I want to do something for IT. And why can I not? Right? And yes, why he cannot? Similarly, I think they challenge that status quo. That's one quality. This is what we think when you think of the word millennial. So it can be an individual, definitely, but it can be a person. And there are, like in any person, there can be a positive quality or it's not a negative or some negative quality. Now the negative quality, or so-called, not negative, but the other side of the same coin, can be that you can call it a lack of seriousness. It can be perceived as a lack of seriousness. This person will just leave the job tomorrow, something like that, okay? Or it can be a kind of a lack of a routine. Now, many new, my son also stays up all night, kind of, and he likes to work in the night. So I would call it a lack of routine. Or it could be maybe too much of informality. So these are things which are characteristics which we can think of. So that person is actually, that's maybe, I see this to be a quality in all ages, a little more or a little less. So everybody, even I have a millennial in me, and I must be able to recognize that. And so, like when we say there is a millennial generation, we kind of put them separate. But what is exactly needed to run a company, to run a country, is dialogue. What you say, samvad and parisamvad, I think that's what the meaning. It's about a dialogue. It's about learning from each other. It's about accepting. It's about utilizing the qualities of each person, and whichever age that might be, to take forward the objectives of your life, of your team, of your company, of your country. I think like that. I don't segregate between millennials and non-millennials. I haven't felt that.
Great. That's very nice of you, Mr. Sankal, that, you've kind of, you feel so connected to the young, generation, that you never find a difference between them. So that's a very beautiful perspective of, connecting with these, this age group, the age group which is there all set, out of the academics and maybe with little work exposures, and they are like, into the speed zone of, that is all set to, handle any kind of speed, is what I would say. So there's a question which has been put in the chat box, and I would like to put forth and request who would like to take it. Now this young person says that we are full of energy and we would like to, go all out in terms of contributing and giving our best. But we fear that maybe the decision which I have taken, and will it, bring in, if it is wrong, how will I be motivated enough to move forward? So it will hold me back. So what is it that, the fear of, I will fail, the fear of things taking the wrong calls, not even fail, taking the wrong calls, a wrong decision. What do I do in that scenario? Anybody who would like to take it? Mr. Sanjeev, you would like to take it? Yeah. And Reena too. So maybe Sanjeev can take in first.
Win Commander, ladies first, or should we go with that mindset?
Mr. Sanjeev, I think so. We move out of this domain and we are all the same as professionals. Please take on. Yeah.
Yes, the best part, as I said, that the millennials, they don't have that mindset, and they should not have that mindset of question of survival, question of standard of living. Now, when they want to call quality of living, and what Wind Commander said, that they need to go through the rigor. They need to be ready to fail. And if you don't fail, you will not learn. And that struggle is a part, whether it's your age or it's my age, it doesn't matter. I think some of the reference Wing Commander took, and I'm also taking a reference to just take as an example. You all are doing MBA, right? And you have also learned about a successful journey of an MBA chaiwala. Now, MBA chaiwala is what? The guy, most of you youngsters may have already read it, but those who are not, oldies like us, who feel that we are millennials, but we are fight to be younger, by the way. So, if you read the story of that boy, maybe he's 24 or 25, I don't remember the exact age, but what he did, he took the risk of making a chai with flavors, going and knocking the doors of the car at the crossings, red signals, and speaking fluent English, and saying, "Can I offer you tea? It's free." And people will zap. Majority out of 10, 8 didn't stop. 2 pulled down their glasses and took the tea. He said, "Wow!" And they were zapped with this English. That was a very unique proposition in the market today. And of course, these people started coming back and back. And today, MBA Chaiwala is having a franchisee spreading his wing. Now, the question is, was he ready to fail? Yes. Was he ready to take that risk of donning a real human being instead of saying, I'm MBA? I'm well-to-do family. By the way, his family has been well-to-do, but he didn't take a single penny from the family. And where he started, the tea making roadside, not in the shop. Can I do it? If I can do it, I'll be successful. If I am still in my ego space of I cannot do it. So being a global HR head, many of the people used to come to me and asking, boss, I have so many years of service. I have not got a promotion. What is happening? How somebody cares about what years of service you have? What I care as a global HR head, what unique proposition you have, what value add you're going to bring, what is different you're going to do. And ask and say, I am not getting a position. I'm not getting an opportunity to crack this. I have this good proposition, but I'm not getting in this organization. Well, I am there to open the door for you, but not because of your no hair like me or the age or expertise or the qualification. If you're ready to put down all your boundaries, I don't see that after once, twice, thrice, 10 times failure, you will get it, because the simplest thing, simplest product of the something called the bulb, Thomas Edison invented the bulb. And as his story goes, every time he failed, he celebrated because he called people and said it, look, this is the way I failed. And this is the one way I invented by which the bulb cannot be made. And he wrote it down. And his success came on 10,000 times. And you know where the Thomas Edison is not only one bulb, so many inventions. Are you ready to become that? If you do it, I don't see any point of talking about why the success will not come to you. You will win. And you come back to me if you don't, because I coach youngsters so that they can win.
Great,
I hope
that's
I
nice.
answered.
That's inspiring. Mr. Sanjeev, that's very inspiring. Reena, you would like to talk to Anirudh Sharma on this? This was a query from Anirudh Sharma. Yeah.
Yes. Hi, Anirudh. As Mr. Sanjeev very aptly brought out why you should not be afraid of failures, I would also second him. You should not be. And any one of you should not be. Why? Because with failures comes the learning. Now, with young generation, they are well learned, no doubt about it. They are real motivated. They want to do so many things at a time, and they are well connected to know so many things again from their peer group across the world through media platforms. So they have so many options, opportunities, but a sense of fear to fail. And that sense of fear to fail, as Sir also brought out, will go away when you will accept the fact that when we start moving on a path, hurdles do come. And the moment you cross one hurdle, you learn it. How did you cross? And next time, how you have not to face this hurdle, and you'll be able to do it in a better way. Now, when you know what you require to do, there comes the role of seniors, your mentors. Don't shy away going to them. They may not be real acquainted with your way of thinking on the digital media platform. Maybe you would have thought of some website or some e-commerce site. He or she may not be that aware how you are thinking, but there would be other aspects which they may clarify. Learn from their experiences, learn from their failures, and integrate that thought process and move ahead. Never shy away from starting from a smaller job, lower level. People really want to jump on that summit, which never happens. You are to climb it and it has ladders. Climb those ladders. It takes hard work, it takes patience. And if you can go ahead with that zeal and passion throughout this path, you will be successful very soon. Not immediately, but very soon. So just mark these words and follow your passion. Listen, share your experiences with your mentor, your teachers, and go ahead with your plans. Thank you.
Thank you, Reena. Thank you very much for, making the young Anirudh know that, see that, you go around with your mentors and, try to gain confidence. And Sanjeev said that, you have to be hopeful and look at the possibilities. One more thing I would just like to add over here is that whenever we are moving on in our life in terms of taking, life is all about choices and the decisions. So, whenever in my professional journey, I can share, I always, in terms of taking the decisions, we saw to it that it is informed. And, when you do an informed, it gives you confidence, and even whatever the outcomes are, we are easily able to accept those outcomes and move on in life. That was one aspect. And the second thing is, which helps a lot and which Reena said, is create support structures around. So, whenever you are feeling, create a system of support structures, be it your friends, be it your mentors, be it your well-wishers, be it your family, whomsoever it is, that will enable you to move forward in terms of taking the calls and moving ahead. That is what I would like to tell Anirudh and the other generations, if they fear in terms of moving ahead. Right. Well, the panelists, I feel that, I would like to ask you, I'm very tempted to ask you one question, is that when we engage with this setup of millennials, what are the pains and gains that you in your experience have encountered and you would like to share with this group, so that they can be more productive when they are into this organized corporate setup, venturing, all out to give the best. So one by one, if all of you could just, enlighten in brief about your pains and gains. And
I think, Sangeeta ji, we can start from Sankalp, because Sankalp has been smiling throughout from the last question. So we can start from him.
Yeah. So Sankalp, your encounter on the pains and gains and with the, when engaging with this. Thank you, Vartika. Yeah.
Okay, so Ria in the beginning said, we will tell you by our experience. Correct. So thank you, Ria. But experience is kind of a quite unappreciated word today, because of the way things are. Our world has evolved, and when I was younger in age, and my child was around 5 years old, and now he's 15. So at 5, I kind of gave him a very, a piece of my mind. And that was really bad for him. So he was lying down and I was lying down. I was feeling bad and he was feeling a little angry and taken aback that how can this guy tell me like this, right? So he asked me that, why did you do it? Why did you give me such a bad kind of a temper of yours? I said, whatever you did, but I thought that, if I don't do this, then you will go the wrong way. I told him that, it happened in my life and I did it to him. So he said that he looked at me, he took a few minutes maybe, and then he said, but tell me one thing, how do you know that where you want me to go is the correct way? How do you know that? Right? So that kind of took me into a zone where I felt that, being a father today and being my father, who was my father, are very different.
Okay.
Right? So, yes, so today the world has changed. and therefore the people have changed, and therefore I need to change. So that was my first experience, and that has guided me throughout. So I have always learned from these. I mean, most people that I have seen are learning from such experiences. So if I come to the corporate world, as I just mentioned, most of the, everybody that I see wants to be a millennial, wants to have those qualities of being young, being innovative, trying to do something, do for themselves, do for the company. We just need to utilize that. Everybody will have some setbacks, but I think we just need to utilize that. So we have created, like for example, in terms of processes, we have created a structure where when we give a certain, change in the designation, or, a promotion, as you call it, we have kind of a basket that for this particular person, maybe that person does not want a higher level or a more, more amount of job or a different job. They want something else. So we have a budget within which the manager can decide what will be the most appropriate. And that is not as if that whatever the person wants we give, it is according to the organization need also. So there is a balance. So we have made that. We have customized rewards according to the needs of the employee.
I see.
And that has, that is the balance that I'm saying, that between the person and the organization, between processes and aspiration, we need to do that. And this is what we have done.
Thank you, Sankalp. Thank you very much. Ms. Reena, you would like to say?
Yes. As Sankalp brought out, we all want to be millennials. We all want to be young, energetic, innovative, and I think you all would agree with me. We have taken this challenge to be as good as digitally as these people are. I don't mind learning it from my youngsters. The other day I had asked one of my youngsters that in my Zoom call, I do not get that background, how to get it. She said, ma'am, I think you have the older version, so download the new version. It didn't click me. And then when I came back, I downloaded it and it happened. So such small thing, but they are so much into it. And these things are affecting our life every day. Now in this new era, which is network centric only. And this is the time when we need to really coexist and transit smoothly from one generation to framework of the other generation. So whosoever has coined it is, this term was coined by Howell Nevis, if I'm not correct. He's the author, American author. So this bifurcation of generations, it's a continuous process and goes on. Yes, with every generation, previous one says, hum aise nahi the. Now they are changing. So this is change management which we need to address. And in addressing this situation, which I have felt at workplaces, that when some order or instructions are given as order in defense forces, there are a few decisions which are made in boardrooms in corporations, and there are some orders which are taken in higher setup, and then they are percolated down to be followed up. So now when this main decision is divided into different targets and aims, earlier people used to just follow the command. But now this command is questioned, why we should do this. Yeah. So rather to get agitated, we must tell them the reasoning. The moment you tell them the reason behind and how this particular task will affect the main goal, they happily accept it and they go ahead with it. And similarly, if I'm on a position, a youngster will just not accept me as their boss. He will accept, but he will not respect me for just being on that position till the time I also prove him that I have that caliber. So this is what they expect from their leaders, their higher ups. So we are to tell them the reason, we are to show them that we know this is something which has generated over the years, and we are to accept this fact and go ahead with this flow. I think this is the only way to
Yeah. We
judge
have
the
almost more
performance.
than 200 participants listening to us. And a very quick one, because time is going to run out. Mr. Sanjeev, in a line, the pains and gains, if you could tell in a one-liner as to what are the pains.
I can only share my experience when I left a global HR head position and came to India. I wanted to set up myself, and and somebody said that being a global coach, I also need to write quite a lot, and I was not been good at writing because I never wrote. So first of all, I attended a boot camp by maybe 24 years old girl, a lady of ex LinkedIn, and she said, okay, these are the do's and don'ts of writing. I attended 3 days, and I started August 2020, and I don't know how many posts I have done. I love posting because whatever is there happening in my life, whatever I observe, I do write very strongly with passion, and I love it. And if it's not, I get a message from LinkedIn, your post is not there, and they get a reminder from there. That's number one. Number two, in fact, I've been also pushed by that young girl that I should put my videos on YouTube. So I have started a leadership coaching series. My 2 YouTube's videos are there, and I got a lot of acceptance.
So
That
all
is
the
learning. I'll
participants
give you
can
one
always
more.
go to that.
One more thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
they can. It's called a leadership coaching series.
Right.
Just started. Like I was looking for to have a very interactive website for everyone and everyone. And I've been talking to people from, say, Singapore to Vietnam to Sweden to Canada and India. And I landed up to one company, which is just last year they passed out one boy from Singapore, and they made a team of 10 from different countries, majority Indians. And they are, instead of paying the water proposition, they said, you coach us, we are new. We will develop your interactive funneling of the website. Now, see the collaboration. I would have never done it in my life. I'm learning from them. They're after me. What this? And I told them, call me Sanjeev, and that's coming up. So it's a gain, provided I leave my pain of mindset.
So thanks the 3 panelists, and I would like to all the participants who are there, I would like to give a one-line concluding remark on the pains and gains, which I have encountered in my professional journey in terms of engaging a lot in academics and in the corporate segment. The one gain which I have is channelizing the enormous amount of energy and aspirations which are there among the youth, and it just inspires me to do so much more, and there's so much more to do in the globe. And one pain which always I encounter, and I keep shirking the young ones always to all the participants, is sometimes this shallowness, not looking at the purpose, not looking at the core, not looking at the objectives, and just moving on. So that kind of drifts you from the core contribution cycle. So this is the pain which I always try to put connect these young ones to, and including my 2 young I have a Facebooker and a Googler in my family, and these 2 guys make me learn anonymously, and honestly at times I'm zapped, and at times radically they just astonish me that what is it, and I need to learn it, I need to accept it. So with this, I hand it over to Dr. Vartika. Would you like to take on? And I hope the 200 participants are able to get some energy from the enlightened panelists, and they move on in life. Best wishes for a great life ahead. Yeah, Dr. Vartika.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was, and actually, we did it on time. So
Great.
that's a great achievement for all of us.
Great. So some applause on moderating.
Correct,
Thank you.
absolutely correct, sir. Absolutely
you.
correct.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank
This is the job of moderator, actually, you know, when we are
Great.
there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we have to start on time and finish it on time. So
You facilitated it. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
so, and yes, we have more than 200 participants, 204, which is a great number post lunch. So this is one.
Yeah.
I have my student Ria, so she'll continue with the thing, and then I'm there. Ria.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have Jyoti here. Jyoti, are you there?
We see Kanchan here.
Jyoti, I am not able to see her. Just a moment. She has to present something which Ria will.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe so we can continue. She's not there right now. I'm not able.
Okay.
Okay. So maybe Ria can continue for the session, and then after that we can do it. So she has something to say actually.
Great. I would say that, we four are always would look forward to see that, in our own spaces and zones, that this generation and this millennial gets, connected in terms of the larger global economic growth. And we can be facilitators at our junctures in our respective zones. Yes.
Sure.
Am I right, Sankalp, Sanjeev, and Reena, in saying so?
Of course, ma'am. It is looking forward to something new when we are together, growing and facing challenges, especially in times which are new to both of us.
Great.
So we are to be now a team and move together.
Great.
Yeah, I heard that Reena is saying we have to be together 18. Yeah, we have to be, at some point we have to be 18, and at some points we have to be 58.
Yeah.
So you will have to try to be that, and we will have to be try to do that.
See,
That's the essence of, winning.
That's nice, Sankalp. That's very nice,
See, if we are behaving like and feeling like millennials, then only we'll be able to actually judge how they feel. If we are behaving only or are in the same moods of elder generation, so for them, then it will be moral lecture, as we do call in our defense forces ML. So they will never like to listen ML. They will like to be open and discuss all those games with us, that I killed so and so in that skin and with so much of ammunition, and I got these many applauds and likes. And yes, why not go ahead with all those achievements and keep doing good things and keep becoming successful in different zones.
Sure. So we have Jyoti here. Maybe she can just present something for maybe 3-4 minutes, whatever the presentation she has.
I would like to just say one line, Dr. Vartika, before we close. And there's about, I think, going together, we are all talking about, that's very important. One of the greatest challenge for the people like us is to be agile in our thinking. Means, what that means is to accept the way things are, the way people are, the way young generation is, millennials, because they have a huge potential. I mean, it's not that we have to put them into a basket type A, B, C. That doesn't work. As I always say that God, the creator, has made all of us unique. How much are we really exploring their own potential? What makes them unique? If we can find out, and if we can just give it a shape, a direction, help them to do what they're best at, I don't see why they'll not be successful in their life. I have been interacting, and believe me, this interaction came as a surprise to me when a 10-year-old boy interacted with me at the Facebook. And he said, Dadu, what should I do this? I said, Dadu, do you know me? He said, no, I don't. I look at your face and said, Dadu, you look my dad like that. I said, okay, what can I do? He said, ये लड़की है, इसके संग मैं ये कर रहा हूँ, मैं कैसे करूँ? Now he's asking his love story with me, that thinking that I'm going to help him. 10 years old, unknown person is talking with all of faith. Now the question is, what role I have to play at that time to really say what is right, what is not. I'm not going to teach him, but I am saying, how can he choose the right path, help him to do what is best for him.
Yeah.
Two, coming to the CEO, 70-year-old, I'm coaching him, a very senior than me in the age, and I'm coaching him how to change his mindset so that he can take the young generation, amalgamated his own organization to give them best from his side and get the best from them. Yeah, the win-win is how we work together, because working together works.
Great. Yes,
So,
Dr.
we'll
Vartika.
be, yeah, Sangeeta ji. So we'll all be here for another 10 minutes because after
Okay.
Jyoti, we will have a repertoire which Himanshu will do, our first year student, and then we'll
Okay.
have memento presentation for all of us. So we're just going to stay back. Yeah, Jyoti, are you there? Now can you?
Yes, Dr. Vartika. Thank
Okay,
you so
thank
much.
you, Jyoti. And Ria will help you with your slides. So she's presenting, and whenever you say move on to the slides, we'll move on for you.
Wonderful.
Great.
Thanks, Dr. Vartika. So good afternoon, everyone. I am Jyoti Sharma, and a big thanks to all the panel members. It's been a great day, especially to Jaipuria School of Business for organizing such an amazing virtual HR conclave. So I, on behalf of Core HRIR Group, would really like to thank everyone, and also, our amazing audience who've been really engaged ones today. So big applaud for all of them. So a little bit about me. I'm Jyoti Sharma. I'm currently working with British High Commission, and I lead recruitments for South Asia. And prior to this, I'd been working with British Council and been associated with the On Hewitt and IBM organizations. So specifically, since we've heard the name Core HRIR a couple of times today, it really takes me immense pleasure in introducing the group to everyone, and telling us a brief about what we really do, what we are all about. So we are one of the fastest growing non-profit HR group, and we definitely are a credible network of 10,000 plus HR professionals. This includes various HR leaders, CHROs, industry leaders, and other HR professionals who are all connected with one another through a sole aim of learning and progressing. So we were formed in January 2007. If you could move to the next slide, it'll also show us our journey and path so far. So we were formed in January 2017. Veer Bharat was the one who was he is the founder member, and then few of us who are a part of Core HRIR team also joined the bandwagon with a vision to serve the HR community and develop HR professionals through knowledge sharing, networking, collaborating with each other, and also to provide a platform to share expertise and insights with each other. So we are also a certified partner of HRCI USA, who've been engaged in providing courses like SPHR, GPHR courses. We've been crossing milestones one after another in a short span of time, and we intend to be a strongest group of HR professionals, leaders, and motivators. So since our very inception, we've also worked on a lot of initiatives like interactive WhatsApp and Telegram platforms, wherein all of us are connected. We have presence on almost all of social media channels. We've been having Learning Weekend webinar series. These are knowledge series wherein we discuss trending topics related to HR, and we invite thought leaders who share insights on these topics. We have Chai Buddy series, HR conclaves, then career opportunities and job boards. We also give out Shining HR awards to deserving HR professionals. We have series like Core Connect, Core Research, and Candid Conversations, and many more. So all in all, we are trying to be a one-stop solution that really aims to augment knowledge, opportunities, skills, thoughts, tips, information, and all learning and development opportunities which are relevant to human resource development. So this is just a brief introduction about what the group is all about. I would also like to introduce the core team of the group. If you could move on to the next slide.
Sure.
Yes, the next slide I just discussed about
Sure. Next,
what
Ria.
the group is
This
on.
is
Yes,
it?
this
Yeah.
is the core HRIR team, which includes Veer Bharat, Bhanu Pratap Singh, Kirti Rawat, Kashish Varma, me, and Anu Agarwal. So I really would like to take a lot of privilege and to invite all of you and all the young HR minds who would like to be a part of our core HRIR community. So you can send us an email, write to us at corehrnir@gmail.com. So we'll be happy to, have you as a part of our community, and we can all grow together with a progressive mindset. So that was a bit about the group. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity, and over to you, Dr. Vartika.
Thank you so much, Jyoti. And so as the traditions and rituals says, we'll go on with the structure. So I'll invite my first year student, Himanshu, for the valedictory section. Yeah, Himanshu.
Thank you, ma'am. It was an enriching experience throughout the day. I would like to reiterate the entire day, as said by our director, sir, Dr. Jitendra Kumar Mishra, that we should always try to be dynamic and flexible enough in order to remain relevant in the industry throughout. Let's initiate with panel one. We had, of which the topic was talent acquisition, changing dynamics and surfacing challenges. We had our panelist, Mr. Suresh Kumar, EDCHRO at Polycab Mumbai, Mr. Sahil Nair, Senior Associate Director at HR KPMG Mumbai, Mr. Subin Verma, Chief HR Tata Power DDL, and Ms. Moshmi Dhar, HR Head Campus Mumbai. The summary of the panel one is that they discuss major points like specific challenges and opportunities for a business during pre and post pandemic, meaning of new HR terms, remote working, and hybridity. And by the discussion, we conclude that pandemic made us more innovative, and HR should be like pull factor, not a push one. Now, with panel two, which the topic was changing role of HR in the context of technology disruption. Our panelists were Miss Swara Sudha Silvaraj, Talent Development Head at Europe, UK, and Ireland at TCS, Mr. Naresh Devi, CGO HUSYS at Bengaluru, Ms. Indra Ghosh, CHRO LE Research, and Ms. Harini Srinivasan, partner semi-coastal at Mumbai. Summary of the panel is that they discussed about feeding more intelligence to technology, and we will get more back. Learn, meet, and understand with people. Gain new skills that will make you relevant. Now, at the end, with panel 3 of which, the topic was the 3 S's approach to engaging minimum speed, satisfaction, and shine. Our panelists were Mr. Sankalp Shekhwat, Head HR and Admin at TDSG, Lithium Ion Batteries Private Limited, Mr. Sanjeev Bhatia.
Sorry, Himanshu, but I'm Sankalp Shakunt.
Sorry, I'm really sorry, sir. I'm really sorry, sir. Then we had next Mr. Sanjeev Bhatia, CEO at Nobility Ventures, and Ms. Sangeeta Mehrotra, VP HR, RB Cutters at Rosy Blue Group of Companies. And at the last, we have Ms. Veena Kumari, we are Wing Commander, HR Expert, Indian Air Force. And the summary of the third panel is that they discuss some major points which are as follows: time zone of speed that can't be zero, sustainable development, social information and industrial revolution, and how youngsters are being productive with the economy and to the larger global setup. With all that, thank you now. I would like to invite Dr. Vartika for momentum, presentation, and vote of thanks. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Himanshu. So I'm so sorry, Sankalp. These are first-year students, and this is their first event, actually. So when we say millennials, so we're giving opportunity to the millennials to, host the event. So Rahul
Absolutely.
and Himanshu
He did a wonderful job. It happens with everybody, not just Himanshu. My name is difficult.
Okay, so I take this opportunity at the end of the session, like we had enriching and thought-provoking session the entire day. Himanshu already briefed about the session and the repertoire, what he did. So from our keynote speaker till the end, the moderator, Sangeeta ma'am, everybody was amazing. The entire panel, we had 3 panels: talent acquisition, changing dynamics and surfacing challenges, changing role of HR, and then the 3S approaches. It was amazing, enriching, and thought-provoking, the sessions. Now I would request my digital team, Sagar, to present the mementos virtually. Mr. Sankalp Shakunt, Head HR and Admin at TGSG, Lithium Ion Batteries Private Limited. We can have a virtual round of applause for them. Sagar. Mr. Sanjeev Bhatiaji, CEO, Nobility Ventures. Sagar. Ms. Reena Kumaria, Wing Commander, HR Expert, Indian Air Force. And Ms. Sangeeta Mehrotra, VP HR, RB Cutter, Rolls Blue Group of Companies. Thank you so much for the entire sessions. So we at Jaipuria School of Business, when we are running this postgraduate management program, we not only want to imbibe these students with the theoretical and the practical experiences, but whatever we have learned today, we want that the HR fraternity, specifically the student, they should try to implement while they go on working with different panelists. I'm sure we had like 12 panelists. So some of our students would be working under your guidance and your mentoring, and they would do wonders in their future. Thank you so much. And it was amazing hearing to you. And yes, core HRIR team, Bhanu and Veer. So we missed on their mementos. Sagar, you need to present their memento also. They are there virtually. So Bhanuji and Veerji, we missed on with that. So Bhanuji and Veer was immense support. So this is our second virtual conclave. So Bhanu Pratap Singh and Veer. So this is our second signature event, which happened with Core HRIR. And my director, sir, so Dr. Jiten Kumar Mishra, was a support to us, and he trusted on the entire team. My team of students of HR Club and Placement and Literally Club, and entire students who were there, which was a force behind this participants from the inception of the event till doing everything, making the write-ups, the creatives, and Sagar, yes, Sagar is there. We have Shanti ji at the backend support. If I missed anybody, I'm so sorry, but I want to thank everybody from the Core HRIR team and Jaipuria School of Business for the successful event. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and we